Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition, January 13, 2025, featuring Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition, January 13, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs from January 3rd to January 9th, 2025. APT featuring Rose and Bruno Mars. Die with a Smile collaboration between Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. AJ Key rap by Madhu Banti Bakshi with Divya. Peelings by Kundakuri Shankar Babu and Lakshmi Dasa. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global, spanning from the Friday, January 3rd to the Thursday, January 9th, 2025. Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. APT by Rose and Bruno Mars, That's So True by Gracie Abrams, and Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish. Nintendo US Digital Top Sellers starting January 13, 2025. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Minecraft, Nintendo Switch Sports, Stardew Valley, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Steam's most popular games. Discover the globally top-selling and top-played games on Steam. Based on the top 100 products by revenue list, for the period from Tuesday, December 31, 2024, to Tuesday, January 7, 2025. Counter-Strike 2, PUBG Battlegrounds, Path of Exile 2, Marvel Rivals, Dota 2, Helldivers 2, Elden Ring. CISA's Cybersecurity Alerts and Advisories. CISA has issued the Cybersecurity Performance Goals Adoption Report. Nova Sky AI Sky 1-32B Preview. This is a 32B reasoning model that has been trained using Qwen 2.5-32B. Instruct with a dataset of 17,000 items. Its performance matches that of the O1 preview model in both mathematics and coding. The development was carried out by the Nova Sky team, which is part of the Sky Computing Lab at UC Berkeley. Zuckerberg believes that the majority of companies require an increase in masculine energy. Additionally, he has advised Trump to take action to prevent the EU from imposing fines on U.S. tech companies. Steve Bannon has declared his willingness to do anything to prevent Elon Musk from entering the White House. 10 days prior, he issued a warning to Elon Musk stating, "We're going to rip your face off in the visa dispute." 2 weeks ago, Bannon's outburst describing Elon Musk as a toddler exposed the internal conflict within MAGA. Epic CEO Tim Sweeney criticized tech leaders for pretending to be Republicans to curry favor with Trump, avoid antitrust regulations, and ultimately exploit consumers and eliminate competitors. Iran conducts military exercises amid increasing economic challenges and the anticipated return of Trump. Trump's envoy for Ukraine participates in an Iranian opposition gathering in Paris, advocating for the global reimposition of maximum pressure on Iran. Denmark communicated privately with Trump's team regarding Greenland, while a poll indicates that a majority of Greenland's residents favor becoming part of the United States. Russian mercenary apprehended with drone near U.S.-Mexico border. Wagner mercenary who crossed was celebrated in Russia weeks prior to arrest. Germany establishes a military division focused on territorial defense. Ukraine interrogates 2 North Korean soldiers captured in Kursk, according to Zelensky. Mexico and Canada dispatch firefighters to assist in combating the Los Angeles fires. Gavin Newsom announces the suspension of significant environmental laws to facilitate rebuilding in wildfire areas, expressing his vision for reimagining LA 2.0 and calling for a Marshall Plan for California's recovery. Mayotte is once again on red alert as a cyclone approaches the French territory off Africa. Sony and Crunchyroll have officially announced an anime adaptation of Ghost of Tsushima. Abel Tesfaye, known as The Weeknd, is contemplating retirement of the Weeknd name. Iris Apfel's maximalist art and design collection is set to be auctioned. Experts suggest that space junk cleanup should use a strategy similar to ocean conservation. The MCAM, one of ESA/JAXA, has unveiled Mercury's shadowy North Pole. During the Australian Open, Emma Raducanu was bitten by jumping ants. Additionally, Raducanu's ultra-cautious approach highlights increasing concerns about doping in tennis, and she withdrew from the Australian Open warm-up due to a back injury. Starlink is now cheaper than leading internet provider in some African countries. Europe's largest pension fund sold Tesla stake over Musk's pay. Steve Bannon condemns Elon Musk as racist and truly evil. Malaysia anticipates a significant increase in Chinese investment, according to the economy minister. 3 days prior, Malaysia is striving to establish itself as a center for energy and chip manufacturing, as stated by the Prime Minister. Meanwhile, a Dutch university supported by ASML has halted classes following a cyber attack. Furthermore, it is reportedly that Britain is aiming to develop a domestic competitor to OpenAI in an effort to lead the world in artificial intelligence. Video games enhance children's intelligence, according to research. Engaging in a solitary 1-hour daily walk may extend your lifespan by 6 hours. The compound 2-deoxyderibose promotes hair regrowth in a mouse model of androgenic alopecia. Jack Smith, the special counsel who oversaw the prosecutions against Trump, has resigned from the Department of Justice. Trump criticized Smith, calling him a disgrace, and claiming he left town empty-handed. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris posted a photo of presidents at Jimmy Carter's funeral, notably excluding Trump. Additionally, Vance stated that individuals who committed violence on January 6 obviously should not receive a pardon. President Biden bestows the Presidential Medal of Freedom with distinction upon Pope Francis. The United States descends to the 9th position in the world's most powerful passport index, a stark contrast to 2014 when it held the top spot. Currently, Singapore's passport is the most powerful. Recently declassified CIA mind control documents have sparked concern regarding the current psychedelic drug surge. UK court refuses access to $740 million Bitcoin hard drive buried in Welsh landfill. Enron resurfaces with a comical nuclear egg parody satirizing tech debuts, causing Enron's revival to provoke ire among former employees, while Enron's CEO justifies the parody egg reactor, discusses brand rejuvenation, and hints at a potential crypto future. Thailand's cabinet endorses a draft law to authorize casinos and gambling. Apple's £1.5 billion class action case begins in UK courts. 3 years prior, Apple faced a £1.5 billion group action regarding App Store charges. Amazon Prime will discontinue its clothing try-on program. JP Morgan's return-to-office mandate has sparked internal criticism, leading to the disabling of employee comments after backlash. Lung stem cell aging leads to iron deficiency and decreases tumor formation ability. In 13% of dementia cases, cognitive decline might be due to cirrhosis. A study reveals that alcohol increases colorectal cancer risk, whereas calcium offers protection. The United Kingdom has committed to significantly enhancing its computing capabilities to support the growth of its artificial intelligence industry. Meanwhile, UK companies are opting to invest in AI rather than hiring additional staff due to increasing costs. In Asia, Microsoft is conducting tests on potential 45% price increases for M365 to ensure that customers can benefit from AI advancements. Additionally, job losses on Wall Street may exceed 200,000 as AI begins to take over certain roles. Gurman discusses Apple's 2025 strategy, including a major iPhone revamp, advancements in the smart home sector, and efforts to catch up in AI. Analyst claims Apple's intelligence initiatives are not enhancing iPhone sales. The smartphone market is expected to rebound in 2024 following 2 years of decline. Biden had a conversation with Netanyahu, according to Sullivan, who mentioned that a hostage agreement is nearing completion. The president of South Korea will not be present at the initial hearing of his impeachment trial due to safety worries. Meta's new approach to free speech has raised concerns among advertisers. The British Army is testing radio waves to disable drones. The U.S. faces potential electronic warfare with China after revealing its anti-satellite jammer network. 2 months ago, concerns were raised about America being vulnerable to significant GPS jamming and spoofing from space. Chinese scientists have modeled the hunting of Starlink satellites in orbit. Reuters indicates that a U.S. investigation has discovered China's unfair dominance in the shipbuilding industry, which could lead to penalties. China's trade surplus reaches $992 billion, driven by a rise in pre-Trump exports. In an effort to strengthen the Chinese yuan, the central bank has simplified the process for companies to obtain additional foreign debt. Chinese rice has improved in taste and appearance over the past 16 years, according to a research team. Life can evolve in various directions, including backward, as demonstrated by ferns, which can revert to earlier evolutionary stages, challenging the common belief about life's progression. 4 links have been illegally released into the Scottish Highlands, with officials suspecting guerrilla rewilding as the cause. Unfortunately, one of the 4 links has been captured and has died. Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition, January 11, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs from December 27, 2024 to January 2, 2025. APT featuring Rose and Bruno Mars. Die with a Smile collaboration between Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. AJ Key Rat by Madhu Banti Bakshi with Divya. Peelings by Kundakuri Shankar Babu and Lakshmi Dasa. Spotify weekly top songs global, spanning from the Friday, December 27, 2024, to the Thursday, January 2, 2025 include Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, APT. By Rose and Bruno Mars, Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish, and That's So True by Gracie Abrams. Nintendo US digital top sellers starting January 7, 2025. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Nintendo Switch Sports, Minecraft, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Stardew Valley. Steam's most popular games. Discover the global top-selling and top-played games on Steam. Based on the top 100 products by revenue list, for the period from Tuesday, December 24, 2024, to Tuesday, December 31, 2024. Counter-Strike 2, Path of Exile 2, Marvel Rivals, Dota 2, Helldivers 2, Elden Ring. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA releases best practice guidance for mobile communications. One more drop in the AI ocean. Taiyui's Falcon 3-10B Instruct. The Falcon 3 family of open foundation models consists of pre-trained and instruct LLMs with parameter sizes ranging from 1 billion to 10 billion. At the time of its release, Falcon 3-10B Instruct demonstrated state-of-the-art performance in reasoning, language understanding, instruction following, code, and mathematics tasks. It supports 4 languages: English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese, and can handle a context length of up to 32,000 tokens. Du Quan's criminal trial is scheduled for 2026, with his lawyers managing a huge amount of evidence. Google permits certified advertisers to promote cryptocurrency services in the UK. Blender.io and Simbad.io, operators of cryptocurrency mixers, have been charged with money laundering due to their use by the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. U.S. court approves sale of $6.5 billion in seized Silk Road Bitcoin. India is reportedly bypassing Visa and MasterCard in its digital payment strategy. According to sources, 11 months ago, India's central bank requested that Visa and MasterCard cease B2B payments through fintech platforms. China's central bank has suspended government bond purchases due to record low yields. Supreme Court indicates possible support for TikTok ban in the United States. Billionaire Frank McCourt's Project Liberty suggests a bid for TikTok's U.S. assets. Lawmakers confess their desire to ban TikTok due to pro-Palestinian content. U.S. intelligence agencies are now divided on whether a foreign entity could be responsible for Havana Syndrome. A federal investigation into the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre has concluded that there is no avenue for a criminal case related to the incident, although the Justice Department has determined that the massacre was systemic and coordinated. The Kremlin has affirmed that President Putin is prepared to meet with former President Trump. Zuckerberg claims on Rogan that the Biden administration would angrily and profanely pressure his employees for censorship. He describes Facebook's censorship as reminiscent of 1984 and criticizes Apple, stating they haven't created anything significant recently. Additionally, Zuckerberg mentions that the Biden administration strongly urged Meta to remove vaccine-related content. The Verge accuses Zuckerberg of lying about content moderation to Rogan and of disparaging Apple in the interview. Biden condemns Meta's termination of the fact-checking program as shameful. India is gearing up for the Kumbh Mela, the world's most massive gathering, which will attract approximately 400 million Hindu pilgrims. Meanwhile, in South Korea, young people are reimagining Jesus by incorporating hearts into his images and designing fan posters, leading to a lively debate. Additionally, President Biden has become a great-grandfather following the birth of a baby boy to Naomi Biden. The first Netflix event for Monday Night Raw, attracted 2.6 million same-day households. Prime Video's implementation of AI and next-gen stats in NFL games is reportedly enhancing viewers' comprehension of the sport. Disney, Fox, and Warner Bros. Discovery have decided to discontinue the new Venu sports streaming service. A Polish film featuring AI-generated images of Vladimir Putin is scheduled to premiere. David Fincher talks about AI's involvement in the restoration of Say 7 for its 30th anniversary. The 2025 Oscars have delayed their nominations because of wildfires in Los Angeles. In the United States, a Japanese Yakuza leader has admitted to trafficking nuclear materials from Myanmar, along with facing charges related to narcotics and weapons. OpenAI has severed its relationship with an engineer who developed a robotic sentry rifle powered by ChatGPT. This development was reported 3 months ago, revealing that OpenAI is discreetly promoting its products to the U.S. military and national security sectors. The United States has declared a $25 million reward for the capture of Venezuela's Maduro. Google's CEO aims to revive scrappy strategies as ChatGPT increasingly represents AI, similar to Google's approach with search. Apple introduces a new AI feature that rephrases scam messages to appear more authentic. Microsoft fully open sources its robust 5.4 model on Hugging Face. PUBG and Inzoi are introducing AI companions known as co-playable characters, CPCs, that you can interact with during gameplay. VLC Player showcases real-time AI subtitling capabilities for videos. X is implementing labels to identify parody accounts. Musk organizes a friendly event with the far-right AfD leader on X. Musk investigates the possibility of replacing Starmer as the UK Prime Minister ahead of the upcoming election. DOGE is sending agents throughout the US government. United Health shareholders are calling for a review of policies that they believe have either delayed or denied access to healthcare. Meanwhile, Japanese police are considering implementing mandatory ID checks for scrap metal trading in an effort to curb the rising number of thefts. Additionally, Chinese embassies in Thailand and Myanmar have issued warnings about high-pay scams following the recent kidnapping of an actor. Thai police have reported that the Chinese actor was trafficked to Myanmar to participate in a scam operation. The actor, Wang Xing, has stated that a fraud gang transported him to a scam compound in Myanmar. Gulf of America? Perhaps it should be called America Mexicana, according to the Mexican president, who humorously references Trump. Meanwhile, a Canadian lawmaker, Elizabeth May, suggests that California, Oregon, and Washington could join Canada and receive free health care, following Trump's threat to make them the 51st state. Additionally, Danish officials are concerned that Trump is more earnest about purchasing Greenland in his second term than he was previously. The Greenland premier emphasizes that Greenland desires independence, rather than being part of America or Denmark. Consultant who praised Trump as an environmental hero seeks environmental position in the new administration. China intends to construct a space solar station featuring half-mile-long arrays to achieve unparalleled power generation. Oil companies opt out of auction for Arctic refuge drilling rights. UK imposes sanctions on far-right Blood and Honor organization. UK academic institutions withdraw from Elon Musk's X due to platform misinformation. Grok expected to introduce an unhinged mode. Mark Zuckerberg, in a move to align with Trump, has removed DEI and LGBTQ+ themes from Facebook Messenger. According to a GOP senator, Zuckerberg met with Trump shortly before announcing the end of fact-checking. Additionally, Google and Microsoft have each contributed $1 million to Trump's inaugural fund. The CEOs of OpenAI, Meta, and Uber are also scheduled to attend Trump inauguration events. Trump receives sentence of unconditional discharge, enters office as convicted felon. Yesterday, the Supreme Court announced a 5-4 decision, allowing Donald Trump's sentencing in the hush money case to proceed on Friday. Following sentencing, Trump retains the right to vote, but is prohibited from owning firearms and must provide a DNA sample. The Trump Organization's ethics plan has relaxed restrictions on international transactions, and Trump's property company is negotiating to repurchase his Washington, D.C. hotel. Chinese hackers infiltrated a U.S. government office responsible for evaluating foreign investments for national security threats. In 2024, Chinese cyberattacks on the Taiwan government reportedly reached an average of 2.4 million per day, according to a report. China has reportedly unveiled world's most powerful weapon design software, which is said to be 15 times faster than its U.S. counterpart, and is allegedly being offered for free. Plants exposed to music tend to grow more rapidly and exhibit better health. During sleep, neurons assist in removing waste from the brain. Concussions might trigger the reactivation of previously dormant viruses within the brain. GM experiences significant growth, securing its position as the second-largest electric vehicle EV seller in the United States with the introduction of electric SUVs and trucks. President Biden cautions that gas prices might increase and criticizes Meta for its fact-checking practices. Hyundai introduces an affordable EV priced at $18,000 in Japan to appeal to a market hesitant towards electric vehicles. Mark Zuckerberg authorized Meta's Llama team to train using copyrighted materials, leading to claims that Facebook's AI was developed by torrenting pirated books taken from authors. Meanwhile, Elon Musk urges California and Delaware to mandate an auction of OpenAI's stake. Additionally, venture capitalists assert that AI companies require proprietary data to differentiate themselves. Meta AI unveils the Byte Latent Transformer (BLT), a model that operates without a tokenizer and scales effectively. YouTubers are monetizing their unused video footage by selling it to AI companies. MIT engineers are constructing 3D AI chips resembling high-rises to enhance computing speed. TSMC terminates its relationship with a Singaporean company due to a chip discovered in a Huawei processor, according to sources. Apple establishes a data processing operation in Shanghai amid ongoing uncertainty regarding its AI initiatives in China. Nuclear startup Deep Fission intends to enter underground microreactors to supply energy to data centers. Trump intends to issue 100 executive orders from the very first day, focusing on border security, deportations, and other key priorities. Meanwhile, Biden has decided to extend the stay in the United States for 800,000 Venezuelans and Salvadorans as Trump prepares to implement a stricter immigration policy. Additionally, the U.S. has imposed sanctions on Russia's shadow fleet, targeting over 200 entities and individuals within Russia's energy sector, and identifying more than 180 vessels as blocked property. A watercolor uploaded to Christie's has been authenticated as a work by Turner. Zaha Hadid Architects, in collaboration with Bureau Cube Partners, have emerged victorious in the competition to design a new Nikola Tesla museum. John M. Chu, the director of Wicked, has stated that Britney Spears will play a significant role in the upcoming biopic. German bosses are blaming the country's economic woes on work. Gen Z calling in sick nearly 20 times a year, and reportedly, for German sick leave detective, business is booming. Gen Z needs office etiquette skills, hiring managers say. In the U.S., college tuition has fallen significantly at many schools. University of Michigan terminates Chinese partnership due to strong pressure from U.S. lawmakers. Japan and Indonesia are planning a joint warship in response to maritime tensions with China. MIT physicists have successfully magnetized a material using light. An ancient physician, renowned for his expertise in treating venomous bites, was discovered interred within a sarcophagus in Egypt. Researchers have identified the enigmatic origin of the colossal 1831 volcanic eruption, which had a cooling effect on the Earth and caused the sun to appear blue. Underwater explorers have retrieved an ancient shipwreck that met its demise 2,600 years ago along the coast of Spain. TGL, Tiger Woods' technology-enhanced indoor golf league, has launched its inaugural season. Cryptocurrency platforms such as Polymarket are now accepting wagers on the extensive damage caused by the Los Angeles fire. Saudi Arabia, which has already invested significant funds in the sport of boxing, might initiate a new league featuring TKO matches. In China, Tencent restricts minors to 15 hours of gaming during the 2025 winter break. A study reveals that 90% of Hong Kong pupils do not exercise for 60 minutes daily. Research indicates that freshwater animals are more vulnerable than previously believed, with nearly a quarter facing extinction threats. Angry Los Angeles residents criticize firefighters for being occupied with protecting the homes of wealthy and celebrities. The state will investigate the reason the Pacific Palisades Reservoir was inactive and empty during the firestorm. Watch Duty becomes the most popular free app on the App Store, surpassing ChatGPT, as California fires continue. Former MoviePass CEO pleads guilty to fraud. Faces up to 25 years in prison. Jeju Air black box data missing from last 4 minutes before crash, South Korea ministry says. 2 weeks ago, more than 170 killed after South Korean jet crash lands at airport. Former Swiss finance minister warns about size of enlarged UBS, newspaper says. 1 year ago Reuters reported that 2 key UBS investors worry about bank size, regulatory friction, and UBS prepares for Switzerland's too big to fail regulation. EU banks at ESG rule disadvantage, warns industry group. A study reveals that deaths from Israeli attacks in Gaza are being underreported by 41%. Meanwhile, in the United States, the House has approved a bill to impose sanctions on International Criminal Court officials involved in Israeli prosecutions. Additionally, a U.S.-supported army chief has been elected as Lebanon's president, concluding a prolonged stalemate. Apple's CEO salary increases by 18%. The company is against an anti-diversity proposal. Amazon plans to stop certain DI initiatives, as noted in an internal document. Numerous German universities have deactivated their X accounts. People in the WHO European region face a higher risk of iodine deficiency because of dietary changes. In the UK, food prices are expected to increase by 4.2% this year due to rising costs, as the industry warns. The year 2024 will be the first to surpass the 1.5°C global warming limit. Get your daily news fix with NewsSourceScrawler's latest edition, January 8, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs from December 27, 2024 to January 2, 2025. APT featuring Rose and Bruno Mars. Die with a Smile collaboration between Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. AJ Key rap by Madhu Banti Bakshi with Divya. Peelings by Kundakuri Shankar Babu and Lakshmi Dasa. Spotify weekly top songs global, spanning from the Friday, December 27, 2024, to the Thursday, January 2, 2025 include Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, APT. By Rose and Bruno Mars, Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish and That's So True by Gracie Abrams. Nintendo US digital top sellers starting January 7, 2025. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Nintendo Switch Sports, Minecraft, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Stardew Valley. Steam's most popular games. Discover the global top-selling and top-played games on Steam. Based on the top 100 products by revenue list, for the period from Tuesday, December 24, 2024, to Tuesday, December 31, 2024. Counter-Strike 2, Path of Exile 2, Marvel Rivals, Dota 2, Helldivers 2, Elden Ring. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA releases best practice guidance for mobile communications. One more drop in the AI ocean. Taiwanese Falcon 3-10B Instruct. The Falcon 3 family of open foundation models consists of pre-trained and instruct LLMs with parameter sizes ranging from 1 billion to 10 billion. At the time of its release, Falcon 3-10B Instruct demonstrated state-of-the-art performance in reasoning, language understanding, instruction following, code, and mathematics tasks. It supports 4 languages: English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese, and can handle a context length of up to 32,000 tokens. China is facing challenges in establishing a domestic car chip supply chain to reduce its dependence on imports, as the government aims to incorporate China-produced chips into its electric vehicles. The Chinese auto market is expected to feature 227 models with price reductions in 2024, but a difficult 2025 is anticipated for the country's 30,000 car dealers due to a price war that could result in $24 billion in losses. In the United States, a study reveals that car software patches account for more than 20% of recalls. Samsung's operating profit could drop by $30 billion, as analysts predict that the company's lack of a clear strategy will result in a challenging 2025. At CES 2025, NVIDIA unveils a $3,000 personal AI supercomputer. Quantum stocks like Rigetti plunge after NVIDIA's Huang says the computers are 15 to 30 years away. Meta plans to gradually reintroduce political content on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. This move follows Facebook's decision to remove restrictions on referring to women as property and transgender individuals as freaks. Meta claims that fact-checkers were the issue, but fact-checkers disagree. Ex-CEO Linda Yaccarino responded to Meta's decision to stop fact-checking by saying, "Welcome to the party." Trump commented that Meta has come a long way since Zuckerberg ended fact-checking on the platforms. Minion Gore videos exploit AI to upload murder content on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. A soldier who detonated a Cybertruck in Las Vegas utilized ChatGPT to orchestrate the assault. NVIDIA's CEO claims that his AI chips are advancing more rapidly than Moore's law. Emirati billionaire plans to invest $20 billion in U.S. data centers, according to Trump. Peacock is experimenting with mini-games and vertical short videos. David Letterman reflects that showbiz turned him into a worse person, but he discovered humanity in a quiet life in Indiana. Japan associates Chinese hacker Mirrorface with numerous cyber attacks aimed at security and technology data. The U.S. seeks a court order to halt plea agreements in the case of alleged 9/11 mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. Israel prevents a UN investigation into Hamas sexual crimes from October 7 to avoid scrutiny into the mistreatment of Palestinians. Backpack Exchange, established by former FTX and Alameda staff, has taken over FTX EU. It is said that an increasing number of companies are purchasing Bitcoin, focusing on potential benefits rather than drawbacks. At CES 2025, Bitcoin miner Canaan will introduce mining rigs designed for use as home heaters. Trump does not dismiss the possibility of using military or economic measures to increase U.S. territory, criticizing Carter's Panama Canal Agreement. Trump threatens new tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and the EU and possibly on Denmark, indicating economic rather than military action to incorporate Canada. A French minister states that the EU will not tolerate border attacks following Trump's remarks on Greenland. Green vows to introduce a bill to rename the Gulf of Mexico ASAP, while Trump contemplates changing it to Gulf of America. The Mexican president affirms that the Gulf of Mexico name is globally acknowledged. Federal prosecutors have revealed further criminal activities by NYC Mayor Adams. Trump seeks the Supreme Court's intervention to halt sentencing in his hush money case in New York. A Venezuelan opposition leader claims his son-in-law has been abducted in Caracas. The United States has declared that the Sudanese rebel group has committed acts of genocide and has consequently imposed sanctions on its leaders. Additionally, the U.S. has sanctioned a key aide to Hungary's Prime Minister Orbán due to suspected corruption. Meanwhile, Iran has withdrawn the majority of its forces from Syria, which is a significant setback to Tehran's regional ambitions. Furthermore, China has constructed a remarkably compact atomic clock, the size of a refrigerator, designed for precise military operations. North Korea launches its second missile test within 2 days, coinciding with Blinken's regional visit, and asserts it was a hypersonic missile. Serbia introduces the Fk-3 air defense system, a prominent export from China. A drone found in the Philippines prompts demands for increased U.S. military presence. Biden administration grants permit for Perpetua's antimony and gold mine in Idaho. Trump declares a ban on wind turbine construction during his presidency. New lithium reserves found in the U.S. and China, with China's reserves now the second largest globally. China confirms communication between Xi Jinping and Donald Trump since the U.S. election. Observations suggest the EU confronts a triple threat from Elon Musk, a far-right activist, and Trump's right-hand man. A Shine representative avoids addressing a China cotton inquiry in a UK hearing, while a Shine lawyer is accused of willful ignorance regarding cotton associated with forced Uyghur labor. Apple is prohibited from selling the iPhone 16 in Indonesia, according to the minister, despite reaching an investment agreement. Lenovo's Yoga Slim 9i is the first Windows laptop to feature an under-display camera. Samsung is introducing a paid subscription service for its AI-powered smartphones. The UN reports that more than 12,300 civilians have been killed since the Ukraine war began. A high-ranking aide to Assad attributes Syria's downfall partly to a trick by Putin. Trump asserts that he understands Russia's perspective on Ukraine and plans to meet with Putin in the next 6 months. Wall Street Journal indicates that social media companies are experiencing a decline in content moderation. The Heritage Foundation reportedly intends to identify and target Wikipedia editors. Additionally, An EU court has imposed a fine on the European Commission for violating its own data privacy regulations. FCC introduces Cyber Trust Mark to ensure IoT devices meet security standards. License plate readers are disclosing live video streams and vehicle information. The discontinuation of Windows 10 support this year poses a risk to more than 60% of currently active Windows PCs. China's Salt Typhoon has now included Charter and Windstream among its telecom victims. Washington State is taking legal action against T-Mobile due to a data breach affecting 79 million individuals. CISA has stated that the recent government hack was confined to the U.S. Treasury. Burdens of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease attributable to sugar-sweetened beverages in 184 countries. ADHD symptoms can fluctuate with the menstrual cycle. Study claims sex differences in brain structure present at birth. Trump's team received prearranged questions for a Fox News town hall from someone within the network, according to a new book. Biden expresses uncertainty about serving an additional 4 years and claims he could have defeated Trump in November. Bolsonaro seeks the return of his passport to participate in Trump's inauguration. China plans to provide subsidies for rice cookers and microwaves to increase their sale. Meanwhile, British luxury car manufacturer Rolls-Royce reports a surge in demand for custom-made models driven by the ultra-wealthy. Additionally, the world's most expensive car license plate was sold for $15 million in Dubai. Get your daily news fix with NewsSourceScrawler's latest edition, January 7, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs from December 27, 2024 to January 2, 2025. APT featuring Rose and Bruno Mars. Die with a Smile collaboration between Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. AJ Key rap by Madhu Banti Bakshi with Divya. Peelings by Kundakuri Shankar Babu and Lakshmi Dasa. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global, spanning from the Friday, December 27, 2024 to the Thursday, January 2, 2025 include Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, APT by Rose and Bruno Mars, Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish, and That's So True by Gracie Abrams. Nintendo US Digital Top Sellers starting January 7, 2025. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Nintendo Switch Sports, Minecraft, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Stardew Valley. Steam's most popular games. Discover the global top-selling and top-played games on Steam. Based on the top 100 products by revenue list, for the period from Tuesday, December 24, 2024, to Tuesday, December 31, 2024. Counter-Strike 2, Path of Exile 2, Marvel Rivals, Dota 2, Helldivers 2, Elden Ring. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA releases best practice guidance for mobile communications. One more drop in the AI ocean. Taiyui's Falcon 3-10B Instruct. The Falcon 3 family of open foundation models consists of pre-trained and instruct LLMs with parameter sizes ranging from 1 billion to 10 billion. At the time of its release, Falcon 3-10B Instruct demonstrated state-of-the-art performance in reasoning, language understanding, instruction following, code, and mathematics tasks. It supports 4 languages: English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese, and can handle a context length of up to 32,000 tokens. Apple plans to release a software update to tackle issues with the Apple Intelligence notification summaries. Google is establishing a new team focused on developing AI capable of simulating the physical world. OpenAI's CEO suggests that virtual employees might become part of the workforce this year. Honda and Sony are collaborating to introduce 3 new electric vehicles by the year 2028. Sony will begin accepting reservations for the Afeela 1 EV at CES 2025. Toyota is reportedly investigating the use of rockets, having invested nearly $45 million in a Japanese launch startup, according to the chairman. Toyota's upcoming cars will feature NVIDIA supercomputers and an operating system. Instagram begins randomly showing users AI-generated images of themselves. Google to bring Gemini AI to TV sets running its software. Apple's AI photo analyzer faces privacy backlash, as Apple auto-opts everyone into having their photos analyzed by AI for landmarks. Google, Apple, and Samsung have joined a new universal certification initiative for smart home devices. NVIDIA's CEO describes robots as a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity, and the company has introduced the Mega Omniverse blueprint for developing industrial robot fleets, digital twins, indicating that the ChatGPT moment for robotics is imminent, according to NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang. John Deere claims its autonomous tractors and trucks will assist in resolving labor shortages. Meta's Zuckerberg expands board with UFC's Dana White and 2 additional members. U.S. regulator files lawsuit against Berkshire-owned lender for unsafe home loans and ignoring warning signs. U.S. reduces efforts to counter violent extremism on social media. Gemini, owned by the Winklevoss twins, will pay $5 million to settle a CFTC case. Bitcoin miners are accumulating coins to endure a profit reduction. Bank of America's CEO stated on Fox that the bank is conducting all internal transactions with XRP and holds 83 patents. Germany is experiencing an increase in far-right crime and online hate, which is partially attributed to the conflict in Gaza. Meanwhile, in the United States, the 119th Congress has included 2 Hindus and 2 individuals with no religious affiliation, yet it continues to be predominantly Christian. Additionally, Taiwan has raised suspicions that a Chinese ship may have sabotaged an undersea internet cable. Pentagon reaches settlement in landmark lawsuit with LGBTQ+ veterans regarding discharge status, plans to review honorable discharges for gay veterans previously prohibited by Don't Ask, Don't Tell. McDonald's, along with other companies, is reducing its diversity objectives. According to reports, Gen Z is no longer interested in music at festivals such as Glastonbury. Trudeau steps down as Canadian Prime Minister due to a loss of backing. Trump vows to appoint a new national archivist following the agency's involvement in the documents case against him. Pope appoints a strong advocate for migrants as the next cardinal in Washington. Razer's Project Ava is designed to examine gameplay and provide coaching within the game. NVIDIA's AI NPCs have evolved from mere chatbots to become new teammates in PUBG. Pokémon has announced that 2025 will be dedicated to EV. Tencent shares decline after U.S. adds company to Chinese military blacklist, as U.S. adds Tencent, CATL to list of Chinese firms allegedly aiding Beijing's military. Anduril and Archer join forces to develop hybrid VTOL aircraft for defense. Chinese hackers target Philippine president, steal military data. FX Collaborative is set to create a new, purpose-built home for the Climate Museum at Hudson Yards. New York City has introduced congestion pricing, which has been met with both enthusiasm and criticism. A controversial new timescape theory suggests that dark energy does not exist, as it cannot be causing the lumpy universe to expand, according to a study. U.S. envoy announces full withdrawal of Israeli army from South Lebanon. U.S. plans to eliminate obstacles to civil nuclear collaboration with India. North Korea prohibits hot dogs as part of a crackdown on treasonous American food. Britain plans to criminalize sexually explicit deepfakes. AI enhances breast cancer detection in a nationwide screening study in Germany. NVIDIA's stock declines following its record high on the CSAI Superchip debut. Flow's unexpected victory at the 2025 Golden Globes, where the Latvian indie film surpassed Inside Out 2 and Moana 2 to claim the Best Animated Film award, has caused significant upset. Sony has revealed plans for movies based on Horizon, Zero Dawn and Helldivers, along with an anime series for Ghost of Tsushima. A study suggests that open-world games like Zelda can positively impact mental health. Immigration ranks as a top priority for Americans compared to the previous year, according to an APNORC poll. Singapore imposes additional regulations on business groups based on race. Indonesia becomes a full member of the BRICS bloc, as announced by Brazil. Venezuela, Paraguay break relations over President Peña's support for opposition. Venezuela says 125 foreigners, including one Israeli, arrested on suspicion of being U.S. mercenaries. Tensions rise in Venezuela as opposition leader González asks military to end Maduro's reign, and Venezuela military affirms loyalty to Maduro amid González coup calls. UN says Iran executed over 900 people in 2024, including dozens of women. Anchor unveils its Solar Beach umbrella at CES 2025. Adobe reports a nearly 9% increase in online holiday spending, driven by significant discounts and AI-enhanced chatbots. Dell adopts the iPhone Pro Max naming approach for its latest PC lineup. In the United States, researchers identify military service as the single strongest factor predicting violent extremism. Meanwhile, Macron criticizes Africa's Sahel nations for not acknowledging France's role in protecting them from Islamists, prompting African leaders to assert their sovereignty and independence from France. Additionally, the U.S. is negotiating to exchange detained Americans in Afghanistan for a Guantanamo Bay prisoner, while the Biden administration has relocated 11 Guantanamo detainees to Oman for resettlement. Scientists express worry over a potential cancer-related factor. Exposures are expected to grow, a UN report declares. Cancer incidence is anticipated to surge by 77% by 2050. Exxon takes legal action against California's Attorney General and environmental organizations regarding criticisms of recycling initiatives. Thailand prohibits the import of plastic waste to mitigate harmful pollution. Texas has declared a state emergency due to the polar vortex. The city of Mecca is underwater as Saudi Arabia experiences severe flooding. A think tank reports that German emissions decreased by 3% in 2024, influenced by economic downturns and climate policies. Telegram has provided U.S. authorities with data on numerous users. 3 months ago, it was reported that Telegram will now disclose your phone number and IP if you are considered a criminal suspect. Additionally, TikTok is reportedly encouraging users to switch to Lemon 8 as the possibility of a ban approaches. Furthermore, Meta is reportedly discontinuing its fact-checking program in favor of implementing a community note system, which is akin to the one used by X. A study has discovered that the widespread use of lead by the Roman Empire resulted in a decrease in IQ levels throughout Europe. Another study has revealed that forever chemicals have infiltrated tap water through the process of treated sewage. In the United States, there has been a significant increase in the number of individuals opting for permanent contraception following the overturning of Roe v. Wade, according to a study. Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition, January 6, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs from December 13th to December 19th, 2024. APT. Collaboration by Rose and Bruno Mars. Die with a Smile. Joint work by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Peelings. Composition by Kundakuri Shankar Babu and Lakshmi Dasa. AJ Key Rat. Performance by Madhu Banti Bakshi and Divya. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global from Friday, December 13th to Thursday, December 19th, 2024. Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. APT. By Rose and Bruno Mars. All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey and Last Christmas by Wham. Nintendo US Digital Top Sellers starting December 24, 2024. Hogwarts Legacy, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Okami HD, Ego Protocol, Remastered. Steam's most popular games. Discover the global top-selling and top-played games on Steam. Based on the top 100 products by revenue list, for the period from Tuesday, December 17, 2024, to Tuesday, December 24, 2024. Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, Path of Exile 2, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, Elden Ring. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA has issued guidance on best practices for mobile communications. Additionally, CISA has released BOD 25-01 to enforce secure practices for cloud services. Furthermore, CISA and ONCD have collaborated on a playbook aimed at enhancing cybersecurity in federal grant programs for critical infrastructure. Lastly, CISA is seeking public feedback on a draft update to the National Cyber Incident Response Plan. One more drop in the AI ocean. Taiyui's Falcon 3-10B Instruct. The Falcon 3 family of open foundation models consists of pre-trained and instruct LLMs with parameter sizes ranging from 1 billion to 10 billion. At the time of its release, Falcon 3-10B, Instruct demonstrated state-of-the-art performance in reasoning, language understanding, instruction following, code, and mathematics tasks. It supports 4 languages: English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese, and can handle a context length of up to 32,000 tokens. UK government warned of increasing bid rigging risk in public contracts by CMA. Italy announces $1.6 billion SpaceX telecom security services agreement, with PM Maloney unexpectedly visiting Mar-a-Lago to meet Trump, who praises her as a fantastic woman during her Florida visit. India proposes approximately $3 billion in aid and tariff reductions for electronics. A new law in California prevents the use of AI to reject health insurance claims. China's leading technology companies promise to address algorithm problems following government intervention. Hon Hai, the company behind iPhones, reported Q4 sales that surpassed expectations due to high demand for AI. Bloomberg reports that Trump is considering clemency for the January 6 rioters as Congress is about to ratify his election victory. Former Capitol Police officers have labeled Trump's promises to pardon the rioters as a betrayal. 2 months ago, Trump referred to January 6 as Day of Love when questioned about the Capitol riot. The U.S. Department of Justice has announced that 200 cases related to January 6 are pending as Trump prepares to reclaim the presidency. Venezuelan opposition leader, who asserts victory over Maduro, to meet Biden at the White House. Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau may announce his resignation as soon as Monday, according to the Globe and Mail. Pope Francis appoints the first woman to a senior Vatican diplomatic position. Study suggests that while tip pressure can be effective immediately, it may deter customers from coming back. OHSU's study indicates that receiving rehabilitation earlier can enhance concussion recovery outcomes. Hideki Matsuyama establishes a PGA Tour record for score to par in his triumph at the Century. A survey reveals that half of the anime industry's workforce exceeds 225 hours per month. The UN cautions that the anime industry could collapse if these problems remain unresolved. Meanwhile, Notch hints at developing Minecraft 2 and expresses interest in creating a roguelike game. Additionally, Carmen Sandiego made a comeback in a new educational app 3 months ago, and a Carmen Sandiego game has been announced for Netflix, Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. The first anime produced with 95% AI is set to debut in spring 2025. Amazon is developing a Melania Trump documentary, directed by Brett Ratner. Demi Moore has secured her first Golden Globe, marking a significant milestone in her acting career. Xpeng and Volkswagen Group China are collaborating to construct one of China's most extensive superfast charging networks. Constellation Energy has received over $1 billion in contracts from the U.S. to provide electricity to more than 13 government agencies. A minister states that tech companies will incur higher costs for energy to power data centers in Malaysia. Global myopia prevalence among children and teens is expected to exceed 740 million by 2050. Gallup reveals that alcohol consumption is increasingly perceived as unhealthy in the U.S. Indonesia launches a $28 billion nationwide free meal program to combat malnutrition. Biden plans to prohibit new offshore drilling on the majority of the U.S. coastline. In the United States, vehicle sales demonstrate consistent growth as the year 2024 concludes, offering a positive perspective for 2025. A report reveals that the climate crisis is causing significant disruption to Earth's water cycle. Elon Musk declares, "Our direct path is to Mars. The moon serves as a distraction." NASA states that desert planets similar to those depicted in Dune and Star Wars are improbable to support life. Meanwhile, India embarks on its inaugural space docking mission. Cloudflare promotes multipath TCP, but criticizes Linux for its inadequate support. HDMI version 2.2 now supports bandwidth up to 96 gigabits per second. Rapidus becomes the first Japanese company to set up ASML's UV machine, a chip-making tool for 2nm chips, anticipated to be operational by early 2025. Pornhub withdraws from Florida, causing VPN demand to rise by 1,150%. A Los Angeles man reports being stuck in a Waymo vehicle that was circling while he was on his way to the airport, resulting in him missing his flight back home. According to a study, the hourglass body shape is considered optimal for hula hooping. Hezbollah leader Nasrallah reportedly died last year in the War Operations Room, according to an aide. Germany has decided to withdraw funding from 2 Israeli human rights organizations. Israel facilitated the departure of a former soldier from Brazil due to an investigation into alleged war crimes in Gaza, and Israel has cautioned its troops against using social media following Brazil's request for the soldier regarding Gaza. CNN faces trial regarding its report claiming an illegal market for Afghan rescue operations. The United States plans to relax aid restrictions for Syria in a limited gesture of support for the new government. Former President of France Sarkozy is on trial for alleged campaign financing provided by Libya's Gaddafi. Officials reveal that the New Orleans attacker documented his visits to the city several weeks prior and wore Meta smart glasses during the assault. Additionally, the truck ramming suspect mistakenly used the incorrect device in the unsuccessful detonation of IEDs. This New Year's Turo rented cars were implicated in 2 fatal incidents. It is also reported that violent hackers are utilizing U-Haul trucks to expose targets' personal information. OpenAI is experiencing financial losses with its expensive ChatGPT Pro plan, according to CEO Sam Altman. The White House released a report indicating that the cost of anti-competitive pricing algorithms in rental housing for renters in 2023 amounted to $3.8 billion, primarily through the use of AI revenue management as the main tool. Comcast plans to introduce universal ads in an effort to attract smaller advertisers away from technology companies. Disney is close to finalizing an agreement to integrate Hulu Plus Live into Fubo. Malaysia has authorized WeChat and TikTok to function under a newly enacted law. Akamai intends to cease its China CDN operations by June 2026 and is considering selling Tencent and Guangzhou CDN assets. Elon Musk questions whether America should free the British people in a heated critique of the UK government. Following Musk's comments, UK Prime Minister Starmer condemns those propagating falsehoods and misinformation on the internet. Farage and Musk engage in a verbal battle after Musk suggests the reform leader should resign. Recently, Musk claims Farage lacks the necessary qualities to lead Reform UK. Austrian president considers a far-right coalition after government negotiations collapse. Politico states that Trump supports a comprehensive single bill addressing taxes, border, and energy, with Johnson informing House Republicans of Trump's desire for a unified, big beautiful reconciliation package. U.S. newspapers are removing outdated crime stories, providing subjects with an opportunity for a clean slate. New court records in the U.S. allege that TikTok was aware its live feature was being utilized to groom children. Blinken cautions that Russia is nearing the point of providing North Korea with sophisticated satellite technology. A cyber group based in Beijing objects to U.S. sanctions for its suspected involvement in cyber attacks. Elon Musk announces, "I am Adrian Dittman," following the suspension of a reporter from X for revealing certain information. In Saudi Arabia, SRC and Hasana introduce mortgage-backed securities to enhance real estate investment. Chinese venture capitalists compel unsuccessful founders to be added to the debtor blacklist. Bloomberg notes, fintechs increase advertising expenditures to attract a broader audience. Macron urges Europe to abandon weak and defeatist attitudes to earn Trump's respect. He also accuses Musk of directly influencing elections, including in Germany. Norway's PM expresses concern over Musk's political involvement in Europe. In a related matter, the Danish king updates his coat of arms following a dispute with Trump over Greenland. Get your daily news fix with NewsSourceScrawler's latest edition, January 4, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs from December 13 to December 19, 2024. APT. Collaboration by Rose and Bruno Mars. Die with a Smile. Joint work by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Peelings. Composition by Kundakuri Shankar Babu and Lakshmi Dasa. AJ Key Rat. Performance by Madhu Banti Bakshi and Divya. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global from Friday, December 13 to Thursday, December 19, 2024. Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. APT. By Rose and Bruno Mars. All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey and Last Christmas by Wham. Nintendo US Digital Top Sellers starting December 24, 2024. Hogwarts Legacy, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Okami HD, Ego Protocol, Remastered. Steam's most popular games. Discover the global top-selling and top-played games on Steam. Based on the top 100 products by revenue list, for the period from Tuesday, December 17, 2024, to Tuesday, December 24, 2024. Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, Path of Exile 2, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, Elden Ring. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA has issued guidance on best practices for mobile communications. Additionally, CISA has released BOD 25-01 to enforce secure practices for cloud services. Furthermore, CISA and ONCD have collaborated on a playbook aimed at enhancing cybersecurity in federal grant programs for critical infrastructure. Lastly, CISA is seeking public feedback on a draft update to the National Cyber Incident Response Plan. One more drop in the AI ocean. Taiyui's Falcon 3-10B Instruct. The Falcon 3 family of open foundation models consists of pre-trained and instruct LLMs with parameter sizes ranging from 1 billion to 10 billion. At the time of its release, Falcon 3-10B, Instruct demonstrated state-of-the-art performance in reasoning, language understanding, instruction following, code, and mathematics tasks. It supports 4 languages: English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese, and can handle a context length of up to 32,000 tokens. China plans to offer subsidies for smartphone purchases to boost consumer spending. Meanwhile, in the U.S., a Utah lawsuit alleges that TikTok was aware its live streams targeted children. Additionally, free speech organizations and members of Congress are appealing to the Supreme Court to protect TikTok based on the First Amendment. Former President Trump has also requested the Supreme Court to temporarily halt the law that could lead to TikTok's ban, suggesting a negotiated resolution be pursued by his administration. The United States has included a 9th telecommunications company in the list of those compromised by the Chinese-backed Salt Typhoon cyber espionage group. The White House attributes these hacks to the telecommunications company's failure to implement basic security measures. Additionally, experts report that hackers have taken control of a variety of companies' Chrome extensions. Furthermore, the U.S. is introducing cybersecurity regulations aimed at reducing the consequences of health data breaches. Google CEO Sundar Pichai urges employees to prepare for significant challenges in 2025, emphasizing that the stakes are high. He also noted that AI advancements will become more difficult in 2025, as the low-hanging fruit is gone. TSMC has started mass production at its first chip plant in Kumamoto, Japan. A new magazine titled The Art of the Algorithm has been launched, focusing on works related to artificial intelligence. Do Kwon has been extradited to the United States to stand trial on charges related to the Terra cryptocurrency's $40 billion collapse. Upon arrival, Do Kwon entered a plea of not guilty to the charges concerning the Terra downfall. Meanwhile, in the United States, the Corporate Transparency Act, which mandates businesses to disclose their owners, has been delayed once more. An appeals court has temporarily halted the enforcement of this anti-money laundering legislation. Additionally, the U.S. government has imposed sanctions on a Chinese government contractor that hired Flax Typhoon hackers. OpenAI did not fulfill its promise of providing an opt-out tool by the year 2025. The Texas legislature is expected to review comprehensive AI legislation in 2025. Some have suggested that Texas should avoid adopting the European approach to AI regulation. NVIDIA plans to make Run AI, the software it purchased for $700 million to assist companies in managing GPUs for AI, available as open source. The Large Hadron Collider has discovered the first evidence of the heaviest antimatter particle to date. Scientific American notes that the U.S. drone panic reflects UFO overreactions. Additionally, Bezos' Blue Origin has received an FAA license for the inaugural launch of its New Glenn rocket. Whistleblower claims CIA covered up foreign involvement in Havana syndrome attacks in revealing interview. Meanwhile, a Russian court has instructed Yandex to conceal images of an oil refinery following Ukrainian attacks, according to TASS. Additionally, senior officials' laptops were compromised in a U.S. Treasury hack linked to China, as Treasury's sanctions office hacked by Chinese government, officials say, and the Financial Times reports that AI-generated phishing scams are now targeting corporate executives. Alcohol stocks decline following the U.S. Surgeon General's advocacy for cancer warnings, emphasizing that even minimal alcohol consumption can lead to cancer. Scientists discover that sugary drinks substantially increase the risk of cardiovascular disease, while occasional sweet indulgences do not. Robots from Johns Hopkins and Stanford acquire surgical skills by observing videos. China's short video user base decreases by 300 million as the market reaches its peak. Alipay integrates AI image search to strengthen its super app position in competition with Tencent's WeChat. In the United States, a federal appeals court blocks net neutrality rules concerning corporate influence over internet speeds. U.S. imposes sanctions on Russian and Iranian entities for election interference attempts. A U.S. Army soldier is detained in connection with extortion schemes targeting AT&T and Verizon. The U.S. is evaluating possible regulations to limit or prohibit Chinese drones. Octopuses possess the skills to establish a future civilization if humans become extinct, according to a scientist. In a maze experiment, ants demonstrated better group problem-solving abilities than humans. Modern chimpanzees and ancient humans exhibit comparable patterns in choosing stone tools. A study has validated that Egyptians consumed hallucinogenic drinks during ancient rituals. Research indicates that a genetic predisposition to schizophrenia is associated with an abnormally shaped skull. Exposure to environmental radiation at Corneville has not consistently impacted the genomes or chemical mutagen tolerance traits of local worms. Keanu Reeves considers the possibility of being too old for John Wick 5. Andrea Briantes leads a worldwide beauty poll, with Belle Mariano and Liza Soberano also included. Simone Biles is named Sports Illustrated's 2024 Sportsperson of the Year. Telegram has prohibited Russian state-owned media channels in multiple EU nations. India has removed restrictions on WhatsApp payments. The UK Antitrust Authority has initiated a review of IBM's acquisition of HashiCorp. Austrian liberals withdraw from coalition discussions, causing significant disruption. Palestinian Authority temporarily halts the broadcast of Qatar's Al Jazeera TV. Iran informs Italy of its intention to exchange prisoners for an imprisoned Italian journalist. Ukraine halts transit of Russian gas to Europe after a pre-war deal expired. Ukraine says it downed Russian helicopter with sea drone for first time. 1,700 Ukrainian troops equipped by the West flee after being trained in France, leaving the rest of their brigade to suffer heavy losses in battle with Putin's forces. Russia rejects Trump's Ukraine peace proposals. Trump will receive his sentence for the New York hush money case conviction before his inauguration, as an appeals court confirms the verdict that holds Trump responsible for sexually abusing E. Jean Carroll. Apple CEO Tim Cook contributes $1 million to Trump's inauguration. APNORC poll reveals that Republicans' confidence in the accuracy of U.S. elections has increased following Trump's victory. Judge pushes CFTC trial with Gemini to January 21st. FBI releases new video and evidence in D.C. pipe bomb case, still unsolved 4 years later. Biden awards Liz Cheney a presidential medal for challenging January 6th attack, as Biden awards the second highest civilian award to leaders of the January 6th committee and 18 others, where Biden awards Winter, Bono and Soros with Medal of Freedom. Trump incorrectly associates New Orleans terror attack with migrants following inaccurate Fox News report. Biden states Islamic State-inspired driver intended to kill before fatal New Orleans rampage. Sources claim Matthew Livelsberger's wife ended their relationship days before the explosion outside Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. A source reveals the driver who detonated a Tesla Cybertruck at Trump Hotel in Las Vegas was an active-duty Army Green Beret. Officials report the soldier shot himself in the head before the Cybertruck exploded outside Trump's Las Vegas hotel. Police confirm suspects in Vegas explosion and New Orleans attack were stationed at the same Army base. Trump criticizes Britain's decision to impose a windfall tax on North Sea oil producers, calling it a significant error. The Biden administration introduces exemptions in its new climate regulations for hydrogen energy. Economists warn that Donald Trump's Maganomics could harm economic growth, according to FT polls. Venezuela imposes a $10 million fine on TikTok due to fatalities associated with a viral challenge. A significant data breach involving Volkswagen has revealed the travel patterns of 800,000 electric vehicle owners, tracking their movements from residences to various locations, including brothels. According to Wall Street Journal, in China, the elusive crime boss connected to billion-dollar pig butchering scams has been identified, and it is reportedly that the downfall of a Philippine mayor may be connected to Chinese gangs. In the United States, 26% of individuals intend to incorporate GLP-1 medications into their objectives for 2025, with Gen Z accounting for 37% of this group. An ancient wine believed to be the oldest in the world has been unearthed containing a surprising additional component, the ashes of a man. Fatty acid amides found in camembert cheese have shown to enhance cognitive function in mice following oral intake. Air pollution generated by artificial intelligence might exceed that of all vehicles in California, prompting the state to address air pollution associated with AI. India has imposed restrictions on VPNs, leading to the removal of Cloudflare's One app from both the Apple and Google stores. A U.S. appeals court has halted the Biden administration's attempt to reinstate net neutrality regulations. Yellen announces that extraordinary measures to prevent default will commence in mid-January. Tron's T3 unit has confiscated $100 million in illicit USDT within a mere 4 months. Morgan Stanley's E-Trade is considering the possibility of providing crypto trading services. Steve Bannon enters conflict against Elon Musk amid MAGA disintegration. Musk labels MAGA faction contemptible fools as a virtual civil war develops. Far-right activist Laura Loomer alleges her suspension on X by Elon Musk. China asserts that its military 5G base station is the first globally, capable of linking 10,000 robots across any terrain. Meanwhile, Russia has reportedly discovered secret war plans aimed at 160 locations in Japan and South Korea. In South Korea, President Yoon's team argues for immunity from insurrection charges, referencing a Trump ruling. This led to a tense standoff, where South Korean presidential guards blocked the arrest of the impeached Yoon. However, 3 days prior, a South Korean court had approved the arrest of President Yoon as part of a martial law investigation. Getty Images is considering a merger with Shutterstock. Valve generates more revenue per employee than Amazon, Microsoft, and Netflix collectively. TikTok data indicates that older music is experiencing renewed popularity. Microsoft plans to allocate $80 billion for AI-equipped data centers in the fiscal year 2025. China makes a significant advancement in medicine by performing the first surgery through satellite. Beijing announces initiatives to increase the use of driverless vehicles in the city. Childbirths in South Korea increase for the first time in 9 years in 2024. Abu Dhabi's Mubadala surpasses Saudi Arabia's PIF as the leading wealth fund spender, with a record $29 billion investment. The world's 500 wealthiest individuals have accumulated over $10 trillion in wealth this year. China might have prevented Putin from deploying nuclear weapons, according to Blinken. India plans to address Chinese dams with the U.S. National Security Advisor during his visit to New Delhi. Chilean president embarks on a groundbreaking journey to the South Pole amid Antarctica sovereignty dispute. 8 months prior, Chilean lawmakers convened in Antarctica to convey territorial assertions to Russia. Human-created objects now surpass the total weight of all living organisms on Earth. Tesla's response to the Cybertruck explosion demonstrates the company's ability to remotely unlock, monitor, and spy on its vehicles, with Las Vegas police acknowledging Elon Musk's assistance in investigating the incident outside the Trump Hotel. In Los Angeles, a collision occurred between a Waymo robotaxi and a serve delivery robot. As roads become increasingly populated with robot access, crossing them can be frightening, and school crossing guards report having to evade driverless cars to prevent accidents. Jimmy Carter's funeral is considered a potential target for violent extremists, according to a security assessment. Donald Trump is upset about the flag being flown at half-staff to honor Jimmy Carter during the inauguration, as Jimmy Carter's 6 days funeral commences with a motorcade through South Georgia. Louis Farrakhan lost a defamation and First Amendment lawsuit against the Anti-Defamation League and others 9 months ago. He had initially sued Jewish leaders for $4.8 billion, but a judge dismissed the case. Neil Young is avoiding Glastonbury due to concerns about corporate control. Rolex, taken from Keanu Reeves' residence in Los Angeles, is discovered in Chile. An Indian man known as the Drill Man halts 57 electric fans in 1 minute using his tongue, achieving a Guinness World Record. A hacker who illegally obtained and distributed unreleased songs by Coldplay and Shawn Mendes receives a prison sentence. Jeffrey Hinton, a prominent figure in AI, supports Elon Musk's legal action against OpenAI's transition to a profit-driven model, stating it conveys a negative message. Meanwhile, Alibaba collaborates with Li Kaifu's unicorn company as China's AI industry becomes more centralized. Additionally, a research study indicates that AI chatbots are ineffective in diagnosing patients through verbal interactions. Climate change might have been responsible for the extinction of ancient hobbit hominins. Samples from Chang'e 6 indicate a resurgence in the moon's magnetic field. In Australia, the risk of being overweight surpasses that of tobacco smoking as the primary disease risk factor in 2024. In India, draft data rules require parents' consent for children to have social media accounts. Washington Post editorial cartoonist claims she left after management refused her Donald Trump sketch. Citi and Bank of America announced their withdrawal from the Global Climate Banking Alliance. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, the stars of Deadpool and Wolverine, are unlikely to attend the Golden Globes. Meanwhile, Jason Momoa is set to portray Lobo in the upcoming film Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Additionally, the FBI has issued a warning to professional sports leagues after a series of burglaries targeting athletes' residences. Singapore Airlines announces a $1.27 billion refurbishment for its first, business, and economy classes. A piece of space debris, estimated to weigh over 1,000 pounds, reportedly collides with a village in Kenya. China's Alibaba plans to release its robot dataset as open source, claiming it surpasses Google's in size and quality. Denali Fault in North America was torn apart by two colliding landmasses. Volcanic activity beneath Yellowstone's enormous caldera may be shifting. AI data centers are affecting the U.S. power grid, researchers caution. China introduces a prototype for the fastest train globally, which can attain speeds of 450 kilometers per hour. Scientists involved in the project claim that China's metal storm weapon is capable of firing millions of rounds each minute. A fabricated video depicting an Emirates plane crash has sparked worries about AI-generated content, leading Emirates to criticize TikTok and Elon Musk's X for their slow response in removing the fake AI video of the plane crash. A study reveals that a strong reliance on cars is diminishing the satisfaction of American lives. Meanwhile, MIT has released 8,000 AI-generated electric vehicle designs to motivate the creation of the most perfect car. Additionally, Waymo details its approach to managing car thefts with its autonomous taxis following an incident in downtown Los Angeles. Nazi connections to Credit Suisse were more extensive than previously understood, as disclosed by concealed documents. Honduras warns of expelling the U.S. military amid preparations for Trump-era deportations in Latin America. Ghana invites the African diaspora to return, leading some Black Americans to acquire its citizenship. More than 180 David Hockney prints come to Palm Springs Art Museum. The Christo and Jean-Claude Foundation, together with the Shed, Central Park Conservancy, NYC Parks, and Bloomberg Philanthropies, celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Gates. YouTube testing a Play Something floating action button on Android. Half-Life 3 rumors intensify following a cryptic tweet from the G-Man voice actor, marking his first in years. Samsung and Google are set to introduce a new spatial audio format in 2025, competing with Dolby Atmos. Hisense has unveiled a new 4K laser TV series, featuring displays up to 150 inches and 6.2.2 channels of Dolby Atmos sound. Americans reduced streaming service expenditures by 23% in 2024, according to a study. Framework laptops to incorporate RISC-V technology. Kodak expands film production capacity to address commercial and consumer needs. Trump's climate plans involve reducing vehicle emissions standards. The Hill notes that Biden is attempting to use the Clean Air Act as a tool during his final months in the White House. Vietnam's capital is reportedly covered by toxic smog. New tests identify lead contamination sources in urban soils and evaluate its risks. Egypt prohibits Syrians from entering the country globally. Syria plans to restart international flights at Damascus Airport. French and German foreign ministers hold a meeting with Syria's new leaders, marking the first high-level EU visit since Assad's overthrow. Military Appeals Court allows 9/11 plea deals to continue despite Defense Secretary's attempt to cancel them. FBI confiscates 150 pipe bombs from suspect who used Biden photos for target practice. Pentagon discloses information about detainee held at Guantanamo Bay since the first day. China's high-speed rail network is expected to surpass the 50,000 kilometers mark by 2025. Huawei is reportedly training 300,000 technology students annually despite restrictions from the United States. Beijing is actively promoting the use of domestically produced chips in its electric vehicles. Telegram rolls out third-party account verification, launches NFT gifts feature. Tech giants miss Malaysia social media deadline. More than half of all Google search takedowns now come from link busters. Greenland's prime minister advocates for independence from Denmark, influenced by Trump's interest. President Biden prevents a $14 billion purchase of U.S. steel by Japan's Nippon Steel, leading to condemnation from both Nippon Steel Corporation and U.S. Steel for the U.S. government's unlawful decision to block the proposed acquisition. Taiwan suggests making it illegal for a political party to focus on unification with mainland China. Apple will pay $95 million to resolve a privacy lawsuit concerning Siri. Music publishers have agreed with AI company Anthropic on a deal regarding the use of copyrighted song lyrics. Meta plans to create a social media environment populated by AI-generated users to boost engagement, and it is